Okay, folks, pay attention closely. If you did not watch this video that I'm showing you on the screen, make sure you go and watch that first. It was from the other day. It was only 6 minutes long. Go and watch that one first, because you're not going to believe what I'm about to show you, because they did it again. So if you remember that last video, in that video I showed how there was a service prayer or some kind of memorial for Queen Elizabeth, after she died, and the choir sang a few songs, and the only time they showed a number when attached to the song, they showed these two numbers. And because there's a choir boy and a choir adults were singing too, it showed the number 184. And I told you that Elvis was born on 1/8 and that Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4. Okay, so that was the first thing they showed. Like I said, the only time they showed numbers were two times. This one, 1/8/4. Elvis is born on 1/8. 8/4 is the day Trump gets his head wound, which also happens to be Obama's birthday. And the next time they showed a number, it had the 116 on it, which is the backwards of the date 6/11, which I'm telling you is the day that Seattle gets struck, on 6/11. Now, but in the UK, where this is, they say the date backwards. So June 11th is 11/6, because they say the days first and then the month. So it's 6/11 really. Okay? So it's perfect, right? And this was at St. Paul's Cathedral, this event. And then this one was today at the choir of St. Giles, or whatever, Giles Cathedral. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And they only showed two numbers. That songs had two numbers, okay? This was the first number they showed. Okay, actually, I'm going to show you the second one first, okay? So let me show you like I said, again, they showed the choir and they attached a number. I'm not going to play it, but right now they're actually singing as this King Charles. I'm not saying he's a king. They're saying he's the King Charles. He was actually there right in front of the coffin. The coffin was there. They're dragging this coffin around everywhere. And they're singing right now, the choir. They're all singing, actually, people in the audience too. Look what they're singing. Psalm 23, okay? Which is, if I'm not mistaken, either George Bush or Obama once read this out loud, but they were singing this psalm. And even on the iPad Goat, if you know that stupid iPad Goat video, they show on the wall where it says Psalm 23, and it kind of has the hidden name Donald on it too. Anyway, it's got the 23 because next year is the year 23, okay? And just to prove that they're singing, look. And then, because that was the year 23, Psalm 23, next year's year 23. And then the next time they show a number, because they did a few other songs where they said God save the king and stuff like that, but it didn't have any numbers attached. So here's the next one that they showed. They actually showed this one first, then they showed the Psalm 23. So let's see what song they're doing now. Because remember, they're not just saying the words, they're actually singing a song. What is it now? Look at this. Psalm 116. Can you believe this, man? Is this unbelievable or what? Again with the 11/6, 6/11. Because I told you, in the UK, June 11th is 11/6. Okay? This is unbelievable. Have you ever seen such a thing? And by the way, this is in Scotland. That's right. Anyway, the whole point is that they showed you the date. So 11/6/23, which is 6/11/23, June 11th next year. All right. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth, she died on September 8th, right? And before I show you the connections with that, I just want to show you something about her mother, Queen Elizabeth's mother. So her mother, Queen Elizabeth's mother, was born on August 4th. You see that? The day I'm telling you Trump gets his head wound. And you know Obama was born on August 4th, 1961. Look, it even looks like a 6 and 1. And Trump was born on 6/14. If you turn the 9 upside down, it would be 6/14, 6/14. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4. Anyway, this is the Queen's mother who was born on August 4th. And you know August 4th is the 216th day of the year. And you know that 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So it's got the 666 connection. But anyway, it's the 216th day of the year, August 4th. And you know Prince William, he was born on 6/21. But over there, they would say the date 21/6. So it'd be 216, which again connects to August 4th, which is the 216th day of the year. So his date would have been 216. Get it? And by the way, the word Seattle equals 8219 if you've seen my videos, because Seattle's going to get struck, like I told you. Anyway, so his date would be said 21/6. 216th day of the year is August 4th for Prince William. And you know, Prince William, he was baptized on August 4th, 1982. Look, see, he was christened on the Queen Mother's birthday, see? The Elizabeth's mother. Anyway, August 4th, you see? He was baptized. The 216th day of the year. And I've shown you 100 times that the Space Needle opened on April 21st, okay? And the Queen's birthday is April 21st also. You see what I'm saying? The one who just died. Everything's connected, folks. And I told you the backwards date of the Space Needle is 9/11. I mean, April 21st. The backwards date of April 21st is 9/11, which I showed years ago. I told you I was the first one to show the backwards dates or the mirror date of a date. You get what I'm saying? I created that years ago. And I told you Elvis was the first famous person to have anything to do with the Seattle Space Needle. He made a movie called It Happened at the World's Fair as soon as it opened. Okay? And look what it says up here. Elvis swinging higher than the Space Needle. You see that? And you know, I told you that Elvis took the polio injection. He was the first famous person to do it on live television. Elvis. He took the needle on Bill Gates' first birthday, October 28, 1956. And you know, Bill Gates is born in Seattle. Everything's connected, I told you, to the needle. Anyway, I'm about to end the video, but I'm going to show you one more thing before I end it. So remember, the Psalm 116 they showed again. Okay, and remember I showed you the 116 from the last video. So they showed the 11/6, which is June 11th over there in the UK. Then they show Prince Charles singing. Everybody's singing. It says Psalm 23. So you got the 116/23. That's June 11th, 23, next year. Okay? Okay, I'm almost done with the video. So when did Queen Elizabeth die? She died on September 8th. Okay? 9/8. So if you went from the first of the year to September 8th, it would be 8 months and 8 days. And I told you that's an important number. That's the Lions Gate portal day, 8/8. I mean, you know, the August 8th. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th and then survive his head wound and possibly come back on either 8/7 or 8/8. Okay? Like he'll be pronounced, you know, alive or he out of his coma or whatever the heck. I don't know how they're going to do it. But But like I said, he gets his head wound on August 4th. But anyway, and this year, you know, they did the Trump raided his home on 8/8 also. And you know, Elvis, he's born on January 8th. So if you went from January 8th to September 8th, look what you get. 8 months, 1 day. So that's the backwards of Elvis's birthday. Elvis was born on 1/8, but in the UK they say 8/1. So basically that's Elvis's birthday, 8/1. The mirror of 1/8. Okay? And then now I'm going to show you the last connection, which should seal the deal. So remember, Elvis was born on 1/8. Queen died 9/8. Look, if you add those numbers up, look what you get. Look at that. Again with the 116, which is the backwards of 6/11. And in the UK, they say June 11th, 11/6. You see what I'm saying? Oh, man, this is unbelievable. Anyway, folks, I could have showed you a lot more, but I just wanted to stay on topic. Basically, I just wanted to keep it on the topic of the 116. You know, the 6/11/23, you get what I'm saying? And look at this, the Psalm 23. Let me just show you that image. So here's that scene from that I Pet Goat video, and they show the wall. It's on a wall. You see it's a P right here, P. You have the A outline right here. PS, sorry, Psalm. PSALM 2 and then a 3. Psalm 23. And like the yellow brick road, which, like I said, is Seattle, the Emerald City. Anyway, so you have the Psalm 23 right there on the wall. And you know, that whole video is about 9/11, George Bush, and then he turns into Obama. You see? And now I'm thinking we figured it out maybe. This is probably the queen who's holding the apple. And they're saying that the apple was covered with honey as if this was the queen bee. Get it? And you know that I told you about the Washington Hornet, the killer hornets in Washington. And the word hornet is an anagram for the word throne, because I told you the throne of Elvis is in Seattle. And the apple had supposedly honey on it. And, you know, bees and honey, get it? And the queen, what happens is the queen is alive right here, right? And then it dies. And it lets go of the apple. The queen is dead, get it? And it hits Obama's boot. And then it comes back and splits the apple. And then the lotus comes out. And that's Obama. And then they show the wall. That's where the Psalm 23 was, right there. And, you know, I know it's hard to see, but see, there's an L right here. Okay? Or it can be a 7, but let's just say it's an L. And then you have a C right here, the white C. See the outline of the C right here? So you have the LC, CL. And the lotus represents a rebirth. But check this out. It's C apple. Get it? C apple. And I told you Elvis is the beast out of the C. So you have CL apple, C apple, Seattle. And lotus is the rebirth. And remember, it hit Obama's boot and came back. So it's telling you that it's between August 4th and June 11th. You know, all of this. It's between this and this. That's what they're saying. And what is the Apple state? Is Washington. They're the #1 producers of Apple. Okay, you see how it's all connected? Seattle. Look, folks, I've shown you all these videos and connections before. I'm just rehashing it. I was going to do a short video, but it ended up being a little bit longer. And Seattle originally was called New York. And remember what happened in New York, the 9/11 in Manhattan. And I've shown all the connections with Manhattan and Seattle because of the ATT thing. Okay, anyway, so Seattle was known as New York. And New York has the apple too, right? Remember the Big Apple? Washington is the Apple State. Seattle. And by the way, Seattle is in King County, and Elvis was known as the King. And you know, Elvis died at the age of 42, and Washington's the 42nd state. You see, I told you the connections never end. It's impossible for all these connections to work out this way. It just makes sense now that this is the queen bee, get it? And then she dies and the apple rolls. It hits Obama's boot. Right there, it hit his boot. And then it splits open into the sea. Apple, sea apple. And the rebirth, Elvis rebirth. And then you're going to have this big explosion. You see the beast comes out of the ground. Boom. Anyway, folks, I could go on all day. I just got to end the video. I went way over. Actually, I was only going to do a few minutes. Ended up being 17 minutes long almost. Anyway, folks, end of video.